Walk onto an American dealership lot today, and you are surrounded by 6,000-pound, leather-trimmed luxury megatrucks. Yet in most other parts of the world, drivers rely on small, fuel-efficient, and nearly indestructible utility pickups that are nowhere to be found in the United States. Take the Toyota Hilux. It is a rugged global workhorse that consistently dominates markets across South America, Africa, and Asia. But for American consumers, it is effectively banned. This chart highlights the cost of that exclusion. While a compact global pickup can retail for as little as $10,000, the average price of a domestic truck has climbed toward $80,000. This lack of variety isn't a result of consumer demand or automotive engineering. It is the lingering fallout of a 60-year-old Cold War diplomatic dispute over frozen poultry. A seemingly ridiculous argument over chickens in the early 1960s triggered a specific retaliatory tariff. Decades later, that same policy serves as a government-mandated shield for the American auto industry. After World War II, the United States poultry industry adopted industrial assembly line techniques. Automated processing and scientifically optimized feed allowed farms to produce more meat faster than ever before. This shift transformed chicken from a high-priced delicacy into a cheap, mass-produced commodity, leading to an immense surplus of frozen birds. American exporters targeted Europe, flooding markets in France and West Germany with inexpensive frozen poultry that local farmers couldn't hope to match in price. By 1961, the surge was undeniable. Per capita chicken consumption in West Germany jumped 23%, and American farmers captured nearly half of the entire imported poultry market. European farmers grew incensed as their traditional small-scale operations were undercut by the sheer volume of low-cost American broilers. In response, the European economic community slapped U.S. poultry with massive tariffs, tripling West German import levies to effectively lock American products out. To justify the move, European authorities launched a series of claims. They accused the U.S. of dumping chicken below cost and alleged that American farmers were fattening their birds with arsenic and estrogen. The dispute grew into a diplomatic crisis. Poultry exports to Europe collapsed, resulting in millions of dollars in annual losses, and prompting U.S. senators to threaten troop withdrawals if the chicken sanctions weren't lifted. By late 1963, President Lyndon B. Johnson was searching for a way to strike back at Europe while managing a precarious political landscape at home. He needed union support to pass the Civil Rights Act and to secure his upcoming re-election. He turned to Walter Reuther, the powerful head of the United Auto Workers Union, who held the leverage of a potential national strike. Reuther offered a deal. The union would support Johnson if the White House acted against rising foreign light truck sales, specifically the popular Volkswagen Type 2. Johnson agreed. On December 4, 1963, he signed Proclamation 3564, adding light trucks to the list of items hit with a 25% retaliatory tax, 10 times the average rate at the time. The impact was immediate. The cost of a Volkswagen pickup jumped by hundreds of dollars, causing its sales in the U.S. to collapse and effectively erasing the model from the American market overnight. What began as a temporary political maneuver during an election year became a permanent fixture of U.S. trade policy that remains active 6 decades later. Rather than abandoning the American market, foreign automakers engaged in tariff engineering, using creative modifications to bypass the 25% penalty. Subaru found a famous loophole by bolting 2 plastic jump seats, complete with seatbelts and carpeting, into the open bed of its BRAT pickup. This allowed the truck to be legally classified as a passenger car, dropping the tariff to just 2.5%. Even Ford, one of the companies the tax was meant to protect, eventually resorted to a similar scheme to import its own vehicles from abroad. Ford imported Turkish Transit Connects with temporary seats to enter as passenger wagons. After customs, workers shredded the seats, restoring the cargo configuration. This saved $250 million until a sham ruling led to a $365 million settlement in 2024. These decades of corporate workarounds and destroyed materials demonstrate how a 60-year-old trade barrier continues to incentivize fraud and waste. By leaving the 25% penalty in place, the U.S. government provided domestic automakers with a persistent shield against foreign utility vehicles. Without the pressure of inexpensive, reliable compact trucks from overseas, Detroit had little reason to innovate in the affordable pickup segment. Gradually, small, utilitarian options began to disappear from American roads. This lack of competition intersected with environmental regulations to create a secondary incentive for size. Under fuel efficiency rules, smaller trucks face much stricter standards. Automakers realized they could avoid these requirements by simply increasing the physical dimensions of their vehicles, pushing them into categories with more lenient targets. Combining their trade protection with regulatory incentives, domestic manufacturers prioritized oversized, high-margin luxury trucks, making the affordable compact pickup a thing of the past. The dominance of the luxury megatruck on American highways was not an inevitable shift in driver tastes or a triumph of engineering. It is the direct legacy of a 1964 trade war over frozen chickens, a policy that continues to limit choice and elevate prices for every American driver. What do you think about the high cost of today's pickups? Let us know down in the comments if you'd trade a luxury interior for a cheap global workhorse. And subscribe to Archive World for more stories on the hidden forces shaping our world.